Am I confused? Am I high on sawdust? Thrilling. This is so exciting. Every day, sanding. Hello. So, if you missed part 1 of this staircase, stairway, hallway makeover, definitely go check out part 1. Part 1 is where I was doing my swirly accent wall, and now we've moved on to refinishing the actual steps. This is me from the future near the end of this project. This was supposed to be a super simple project, and obviously things always turn out to be less simple than they are. So my back is broken from Asian squatting through this whole thing, but let's get into it. Tape is still on the stairs, you can see. Right now I'm in the entryway. Tape is still up, but today we're finally tackling sanding. I have no idea what to expect. Everything is a test today. Everything is a first. We're gonna start with these little steps, and this is day 1 of sanding. At this point, this is product placement. Today's socks are minutes in, my hand already hurts. But yeah, so far, shop vac is great with our handy dandy Gorilla Tape adapter. We'll see how this goes. This little thing is my best friend. Things I've learned so far. It's not that hard if you have the right tools. I was gonna do this with a battery operated palm sander, like our little Ryobi one, and Steph was like, that's ridiculous. You're never gonna finish this in time. So having the air compressor, shop vac, and this orbital sander. Orbital sander is essential. The difference between a palm sander and an orbital sander, orbital goes like this, palm sander just goes like this. So you want something that moves along. By the 3rd step, it was taking a lot longer to sand because my grit was running down. I'm getting all the edges except the inner corners. Very inner corners, which I'm gonna have to hand sand. But yeah, it's really not as hard as I thought it would be. There's certain spots that I can feel I can go over even more. But yeah, this seems quite not bad. As long as you have the right equipment. Now I have 80 and 120. So I'll move from finer to finest and then do the hand sanding for the inner corners. You can see before, after. What time is it? It's getting dark. 4:30? It must have been all the hand sanding. With hand sanding, I'm catching a lot of the white and sanding the riser as well as the corner of the wall. Okay, kitchen time. All done. So 6 steps took me 6 hours, pretty much. This one took a lot quicker as well, actually no, I didn't do the inner corners, which also take a while, but I'm getting the hang of it. Today's socks. This is the big stair part. All 13 steps today. Well, definitely not gonna get all 13 today. We'll see how far we get. Oh man, I gotta do the posts too. I totally forgot about that. I've had these paint stains on the stairs from when we were painting the living room and moving into the house. And these are finally leaving. Before, after. So, as I was sanding, I realized that you don't notice it in the kitchen and entryway stairs because you're on a lower level and there's only a couple of them. But as you're looking up the stairs, as you're walking up, you'll notice more and more the lip underneath. There's more underneath that needs to be sanded. And if you look at what we have right now, it's painted, like half painted, half stained. Obviously, it's a second thought for a lot of people, and it bugs me because it's very sloppy and you can see it. You hear that? So my sweet little compressor overheated. It says right here, sanding, use intermittently for sanding. I was a bit too continuous with that, so I have to let it cool down a bit. Poor thing. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. She's not working. I get like a couple minutes of sanding in, and then I feel the sander start skipping and slowing down because there's not enough pressure. I think for now I might as well patch all the holes that are on the stairs from the stair runners. There's quite a lot of chips too out of these old stairs. It's a bust today. Look at all the holes. This is, look, this is, these were all holes. We're having compressor problems. I thought it was just overheated from yesterday, but I broke it. Today is not a day of good news. I also got a call from my doctor because I've been having month-long periods. My periods are lapping themselves, which has been fun. And then I found out that I grew another cyst and it's also 5 centimeters long. I think this is my 3rd cyst. This one is a complex septated cyst. And I've had a blood one. And I don't remember what my other one was, but today's not a good day. Mercury's in Gatorade. Time to get another compressor.
Find one?
Yes.
Well, we managed to turn it upside down.
Here's the new one. Well, I got the sconce. This is the one that I got. Wow. So much easier. Okay, we're back in business. I just have to do the 80 grit and the 120 grit tomorrow. If you see the process, I was starting with orbital sander and then I would give the compressor a break. And then I would move on to a palm sander to get into the corners. And then hand sand and vacuum and repeat the cycle over and over. Also, the caulking at the seam where the riser seam meets the steps, I took some time to cut and scrape those out as well. All of these little details that really don't look like anything special, but then once you finish it and it looks clean, it looks great. It's just really nice to be able to take time to do every little detail to make sure it looks nice. And I understand contractors work per job and they have to finish projects and they're on a time crunch and they have to finish things quickly. I'm using the luxury that I have to take my time and be the slowest contractor in the world. You know how I know that I'd be the first one to die off in a scary movie is because I actually told Steph while he's working upstairs to text me before he gets out of the room, because every time he walks down the stairs and I'm sanding and I can't hear anything, he just makes me jump. I'm just the jumpiest person, which is why I'm terrified of balloons. Always just expecting something to happen. Anyways, she's at it again. I'm so close. Besides the accessory parts like the posts and the railings, I think I really will get the stairs done today. Doing this for my own house feels really rewarding and I really enjoy it. I think I'm a bit of a worker bee and I like just plugging away. I don't know how I feel about doing this for everybody, like contractors or people like the Sorry Girls who make over other people's homes. So the payoff, like I have heavy emotional investment in this. You can see that the steps, there's still a bit of glossy. So I think I have to go over it with 60 again today. Then I can start the 80. Look at how rough these sides are. So that means I also have to sand these parts and this part. So I think the order of things is sand, sand, stain, paint, and then caulking? Surprise, surprise! I'm not done sanding. How many days of sanding has it been? I don't know. Save me. I don't know if you can see the difference between finished, this is after 120, and that's after 60. Since I was switching off and using the palm sander a lot to get all the corners, everything is covered in a fine layer of sawdust. It's disgusting. Yeah, the shop vac and the orbital sander is just the best. I feel like with the palm sander, it's like having a Tasmanian devil let loose. There's so little control. It's great for getting into tight little corners, very little control, and hard on the hands. Wow, wow. Really hope I don't get dust everywhere. Okay, I truly do believe in my heart of hearts that today is gonna be the last day of sanding. We're just doing the rest of the rails today. All the stair rails and one newel post and the stair nosing in front of the entryway. And that's it. I have a steady collection now of many grits of sandpaper. These are all from the palm sander, and instead of throwing it out, I'm just gonna use the rest of them to hand sand these areas. They lasted quite a bit, but even though it doesn't look like it was worn down that much, a new one just works so much faster. If you're thinking dirty thoughts while doing this, then we can be friends. This railing is the only one that doesn't come off. The worst one to not come off either, because it's in the kitchen where all the appliances are. We tried a couple times to take it out, didn't work, so I have to sand with it on. All the other railings came off easily. Having to sand underneath this with the rail in between, I'll show you, not too fun. Sanded my nipple at one point. Gotta be careful. Man, eye protection, lung protection, ear protection, nipple protection. That's a bra, but that's never gonna happen. I forgot that I still have this whole page to do. I should just do it. I'm gonna do it. I think I'm done sanding! But now I'm terrified because this is where the color matching happens. I'm very nervous about streakiness. And I can finally, actually, should I change? I should probably change out of these dusty, over week old clothes. Feels really good to get all the prep work done and getting on to the final steps. I can taste it. We're so close. So I'm wiping down everything with alcohol. Think that I need to be this extra, but I'm still gonna be this extra, because the stairs, the rails, and everything, these are high traffic, highly used areas, and I just wanna make sure everything is sealed and unscuffed, and they can put up with a lot of use. And I had a friend tell me that they hired contractors to paint the stairs, and within a year, she said, it was already peeling. Everything needs a second coat, and then prep the stairs. It looks so good. I'm very happy. All right, here I was thinking that I was doing really well, and then I thought, just to be safe, it's so bad. This is one coat, okay? But when I was shining this onto other parts of the stairs, on the other ones that already had a second coat, it was still quite streaky. So we definitely need a bright light. Wow, it's a black post. Nope. It's pickling day. I have everything ready. We went on a date to Princess Auto and Home Depot the other day. It was very romantic. We frolicked around the aisles. Gloves, many foam brushes, rag in a box, alcohol, bucket, vacuum, the stain, as well as the tint. Oh, I also got myself a trim guard. Every stain comes a little different in tint. So you want to mix everything in one go is the idea, because if you stain in batches, it could differ in color, and that's the last thing that I would want. This covers 100 square feet, and out of all of the steps, if I did my math right, it's 50 square feet in total, plus an extra 10-15% just in case. I don't know if I needed to buy whitewash pickling. I could have just got a clear stain and mixed the color, because the whitewash obviously lightens whatever color I use, because it has a white base. But then I also felt like maybe the white will help as a good undercoat. I think maybe just these were wiped too early, / we should just leave it on. This looks good.
Yeah, I like that. You think maybe just less and we just leave it on?
Yeah.
Like just put a little bit and then
Yeah.
really
Like I'm painting, not like I'm staining. Butt cracks.
never fails.
Get you some suspenders.
Like after the second coat, we'll reassess.
Yeah.
We'll leave you to your thing then.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're fired.
I just eliminated my own position.
I was checking along this hallway and I'm like, it's just a smidge green. And I thought maybe because the hallway is tinted a little green, that's why it is that way. But then I came down and I checked this and it still is just a smidge green. But it's enough for it to look just slightly off. Our friend was telling us that this is a hard job, and he was like, you could just hire my guy. And I'm like, well, the tasks itself are really easy. I can do it, but it's the skill that it takes to get it right that is hard. I'm still confident about getting to a good finish, but it's taking a lot more tweaking. I have a lot more stain left and I could just go back and do a second coat, but it's gonna be even greener if I do a second one. So I think I'm gonna get another sample of another color, very close, and then mix another batch of stain, and that'll be the second coat. And I hope to God that it's okay. We'll save this for another greenish gray tint. I somehow have a full can still. I went back to Home Depot and I got another color. It's actually the color right next to Rolling Pebble. This was my mistake, but the color sample that I got of the first lighter color didn't match the paint card, and it did lean towards green. I think mixing it with the stain made it worse. I should have double checked all my colors first and done one stair before committing to it. It's like the more I sand, the greener it becomes. I don't understand. So this one, I definitely need to sand all the way down to bare bones again, because clearly I didn't sand this set of stairs right. Everything else, every other staircase is smooth except for this one. So I know that I did something wrong here. I think I got it. Now, I ended up doing 4 coats on the stairs and the wood grain is still showing through. I'm very happy. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but I should have combined the 2 final colors together. I would have nailed the floor color perfectly. I'm not 100% happy with it because the color is a little darker than the stairs. I didn't know that I'd be doing so many coats. It was fine if I did maybe 2 coats. I did a light sand of the stairs to prep for the clear coat, and then I also started sanding the risers again. And every time I start sanding the risers, more paint starts peeling, and then I keep sanding it to try and smooth it down. And I'm just I'm stuck in a cycle of sanding and peeling, and I'm gonna try and see if I could find a stain blocking primer to cover up the peeling paint as much as possible. I sanded it as smooth as I could. It's just impossible. I love it! I don't love that the tape didn't make perfect rounds. I'm so surprised. Everybody's like, oh, you're such a happy person. I am a very happy person, but I am a huge pessimist. I always think the worst of everything. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah, it feels like it's contradictory. There we go, English. Acquired. And problem surfaces. You can see here, I rubbed a little too hard on the alcohol. Now I have to touch up this spot. Watch this. I gotta trap myself up on this floor. I'm gonna work this way. This one will be interesting. First coat done. Today, I'm sealing the strings and the risers. I used whatever leftover tape I had to tape off the stairs. I'm gonna see if I could use the edge trimmer. I really want to make sure that the lines are crisp. Supposedly this stuff dries clear. I can't do this anymore. I don't know how to stop this. It's like completely shiny and glossy underneath. Look at this. It's like a birch tree. Got new primer, more new primer. This one's primer. The one I bought was sealer. I'm learning a lot here. I got paint on the back of my head. Did I get it? The last couple of days, it's just been buckling down, trying to finish this. Stairnosing is the last step, and I attempted to do this landing by myself. Started off with the right mindset, triple measuring and everything, but using all the wrong tools. So then not getting, the 45-degree angle right. If it's just about, like muscling through, enduring it, that's cool. I run into a roadblock that's math related, and then I simply, like, Steph tried to explain it to me and I simply just can't wrap my head around it. And that's when I get frustrated and I just want to quit, and I get a little weepy.
There were some tears.
Also, I realized that when I painted these risers, I just used leftover paint that was in the basement that the previous owners had left, but it's eggshell white. I feel like I should have bought proper either high gloss enamel or something more scuff resistant. It's held up well so far, but I am pretty sure that this, like, as you're walking up the stairs and your toe kicks it, it's gonna leave scuff marks. I'm going the extra step and I'm gonna poly the risers as well. There's this saying in Chinese that my parents would always say, and it's "naogokjin," and directly translated, I think it's bullhorn sharp. I think Steph would actually really like it if I put some of his rims out here. They're just hiding in the closet in his room. Holy shit, dude, how many rims? 1, 2, 3 sets of rims. The fuck? Putting a bow at the end of this project. Another great sense of accomplishment, and I learned a lot. I should be posting while I'm doing this, but when I was peeling the paint, one thing that I learned from somebody online was that I could have just used a heat gun instead of spending so much time scraping the paint. But there are things that stick with me really well because I am a learn by doing kind of person. The time and effort put into making sure all my line work was clean is something that I'm very proud of because it really paid off. Everything is crispy as hell. On the stringers, you can really tell that it is another layer of paint. It doesn't look like, you know, the baseboards where it's the very first coat. It's fresh, it's new, it looks great, it's held up, it's been a couple of weeks. Another thing that I really love is that with all the walls that I ended up having to do, which was a pain, it's very nice to enjoy because with the window over here, we get direct sunlight, and as the day moves along, the light hits differently, and sometimes you can see a lot of contrast in the swirls, and sometimes you can't see it at all. The steps, otherwise, it's the right tone. I'm very glad that I got that right, but it's darker. That's the truth. It's not where I would like it to be. I really think that I could have gotten there if I had just known to mix my first shade and my second shade, but the objective was to maintain wood grain, and the wood grain has been maintained. The car rim ended up there. As I was shooting all these finished shots, I was like, I'm gonna move it over there. I still have wall art. I have a really cool frame idea that I'm gonna DIY over here. The kitchen stair nosing isn't done as well as the quarter round at the base of these stairs, so it's not 100%, but she's got a hand in the assignment. If you want to support this channel and you want to see more of this home reno journey, the best thing that you can do is to like this video, share it with your friends. That'll really help with this channel. And if you want, you can find me on social at Instagram or TikTok at Letitia Q for all behind the scenes content. And on to the next project. The next one is backyard update. And then the next one, we're starting the plans for the kitchen.